I have to bring this up, is the continued head fakes of Steve Bannon. Let's be very clear. Not only did Steve Bannon steal the name of my InfoWars show with the great American Owen Schroyer, The War Room, but he testified falsely at my trial against me. He was an informant for Robert Mueller. If you take his sworn testimony before the House Intelligence Committee, which was sealed at the time of my trial, and his testimony on the stand at my trial, he clearly perjured himself in my trial. So right now, here, today, I'm challenging Steve Bannon to come on InfoWars and debate this. Let's have it out. Alex, you can moderate it so it stays civil. But he needs to answer as to why he was working with Robert Mueller to destroy me and send me to prison. So there it is. The challenge, the gauntlet has been laid down, Big Steve. Come on, Sloppy Steve. We can find a suit and tie for you that's clean, I think. And you should come on InfoWars and answer what I just said. And by the way, all you little Bannon groupies who want to go on social media and challenge me, I wouldn't suggest it, because I will merely block you. Facts are facts. As the New York Post reported, and Jonathan Turley, the George Washington University law professor who read both transcripts and concluded Bannon clearly perjured himself at one place or the other. And since the entire central question on which I was being tried was lying to the House committee, you would think that it would be germane, it would be important. As Professor Turley pointed out, there were 40 lawyers in the room at the time that Bannon testified prior, contrary.
Well, Roger, you're fired up. Please go back into this in a moment, but you just brought this in. Shocking, great idea. I don't know if you got the idea because Barnes and Fuentes had a great debate with over 1 million people that tuned in to that show, and about 1 million have watched it since at Man.video. So that's pretty successful. I want to have debates. I would let Bannon have his moderator here as well, and we could agree upon rules. I want to have debates. Bannon's been saying some nice things about me, and I used to admire him. You used to say great things off air about him and on air. I know you were shocked by this, but I think he really should come on and debate you. I mean, let's go back to, you used to really like Bannon. Why are you saying he did this to you?
Well, I have to assume that he did it because, as we now know, he was under federal investigation at the time he testified against me. The prosecutors had a legal obligation under Giglio to tell us that at the time of his prosecution, but of course they didn't do so. My case could have been overturned on that basis alone had I not been pardoned. But once I waived my right to an appeal, because I knew an appeal in the D.C. Circuit was hopeless, neither the law nor the Constitution matters to virtually any judge in that circuit, that opportunity was lost. But he should not continue to be able to put himself forward as an advocate for the America First agenda. Steve Bannon publicly accused the president of having Alzheimer's. He said the Trump organization was a criminal enterprise. He said that Trump would be prosecuted. I can do this almost verbatim. When the American people learn he's not a billionaire, he's just another scumbag.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, do we know all that was really said, or just the media claimed that?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Do we know he really said all that, or just the media said that? Because the media claims that
is reported by The Guardian. It's also in the book, Fast and Furious, and he's never denied it. His defenders say, oh, well, that was 2 years ago. Doesn't matter when it was. Steve Bannon called the president of the United States.
Well, then here's the $64 trillion question. Why did Trump give him a pardon?
I think he was blackmailed. That's what I think. That is my opinion. But again, I noticed that in Chinese, Steve Bannon's patron, Miles Kwok, last week, in an interview in the Chinese language, but with subtitles, accused Patrick Byrne, who I think has been a hero in this entire recourse process, of being a red Chinese agent because he once lived in China many years ago. Patrick Byrne is a patriot, and I think Mr. Kwok just defamed him. Just an observation.
Well, I know this. I've seen the trailer for their new film, Deep Rig, that's at Man.video. It looks like the slickest thing I ever saw.